Here I sit in the quasi-sunshine of my Terrasse in Munich. And I have been remembering and contemplating some of the bigger adventures in my life, many of which involved a particular woman adventure. In any case, sitting here on the terrace, the Terrasse patio, I'd like to smoke a cigarette. Well, the cigarettes I've left in the cave, my cave, which is, you know, the walls are a little brownish from tobacco smoke. So the cigarettes are in there where the computers are and so forth. Yes. So I've uprooted, in a way I've uprooted my life and turned everything upside down. In the past, my engineering mind would try to combine things on one trip, you know, like I'm going to go in the house, and there's 3 things I want, I'll just pick up all 3 and come back naturally. Well, now it's the opposite. I need movement. I need a reason to move. Makes it a lot easier. So, I want a cigarette? Well, I now have to walk back to the cave and come back with the cigarette. I have to. I mean, that's just what I've decided to do today, having taken the advice of my mother outlaw, the mother of my well, quasi-former partner here. Saying something about how I could read on the patio or whatever, and as she goes out and spends as much of her life as she can in her garden. She's a lovely lady and a lovely gardener, and yeah, a little older than me, maybe 10 years or less older. In any case, so the cigarettes are now indoors. Oop. Oops, hello, bug. And my present smoking space is out here in the terrace, the patio. So, each cigarette I want, I now walk in, get 1 cigarette, bring it out here, and smoke it. This also fits with something that I had told Donna, that I would not smoke in the house, or whatever, when she was here. And she was here. This Donna was my first true lover, and we had not seen each other for 55 years. She came to Munich for a day and a half, and we spent that time basically together. And it was a very enjoyable climax of an adventure which had begun more than a year earlier. When I say begun, maybe 2 or 3, I'm not sure how many years, when I first made contact through classmates or something, I don't know. online thing. And last year she was maybe gonna come and didn't, and this year she was maybe not gonna come and did. And it was a lovely, it was it was hardly at all pre-imagined. It just happened as it happened. We spent a good part of the day, or a day and a half, a good part of that day on a Rundfahrt, Munich tour, bus tour, where you hop on and hop back off again, or hop off and hop back on again. And we pretty much did that hopping, at least 4 or 5 hops, spending time in one square or another. Marienplatz was overwhelmed with people. There was live music and millions of people, and practically a beer tent. Augustiner, I think. I'm not sure which, but anyway, one of the blue and white. Blue and white is Bayerish color. With lots of umbrellas and tent-like mini structures, whatever. In any case, it was a pleasing climax to a longish adventure that was at least a couple years old from the very beginning. And I noticed that when I left my, I guess you could call it second life, Lydia, who was actually a very good woman and God willing still is, may she live to 120. But she prefers to pretend that I don't exist, or as if I don't exist. I think as a bit of her Eastern European Jewish culture, when they turn out to be bad enough, it's just as well if you take their pictures out of the family album. Let's just kind of forget that one. In any case, she was a very good companion for 31 years. A good mother and a good co-worker. Really, the business side of my business was Lydia's business. And she did it well. And we lasted for 25 years or so as a productive producing entity, producing income for us, producing some income for the Hunger Project, and working nicely for I think for our workers, and it was a really lovely thing. But it was over. It was over in 2000 when we moved out, and I moved my electrical shit back into the basement and reorganized it, and finally, to get the computer network running again, I just couldn't hack it. There was no point. There was nothing. There was no adventure anymore. There was nothing to create, no one to create for, or whatever, however it works. There wasn't. There was nothing. And in January, I think, I underwent something of a transformation in connection with the landmark education guest seminar leaders program meeting in New York at the Twin Towers. This is 2000, I believe. Could have been 2001. Could well have been 2001. But January. Yes, the company had their offices there too, besides this large meeting. In any case, I was transformed. I had my beard shaved and was well dressed in a purple shirt, borrowed clothing, and my change of appearance from kind of Father Moses to just a 59 or so, 58, whatever, year-old man had women in the crowd crying. So I got noticed. Oh, and I immediately started growing back my beard, and one of the leader candidates or whatever said, "Hey, we have a 6-month agreement that will keep our transformation, whatever it was, for 6 months." No, you have one. I never made such an agreement. The leader of the course was so pleased that I would undergo, this is at least the answer in my own head, that I would undergo this transformation, give up my present Father Moses shtick and be transformed. That's a winning proposition, and there was no question of some agreement like that I'll keep this for 6 months. In any case, I started growing my beard right back. And I think that it's within 6 months, approximately, maybe 7 or 8, when I met Gabi. Or maybe not. I can't remember if this is 2000 or 2001, and I'm seeing a low battery symbol, so I think I'll shut down. Oh, 13 minutes, wow.